Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally, and today's thrift flips are all bird-related items. In my last video, you may remember that I had done over this wooden birdhouse, and I had another one in my stash that I had picked up, I think, on Amazon last year because the one I was using outside broke. So I wanted this one to look similar to the first one. So I began by just taking a mixture of the antiquing dark wax with some clear wax that are together, and just brushing on and wiping back the top of the roof of this, the little perch, and the little base, so that it would have a nice rustic wax. Also will protect it, and I can eventually, if I want to put several coats of poly on these, put them outside. So I'm not doing anything that would harm the birds here. And then once this is completely done, I am going on to paint the body of the birdhouse in the same linen white chalk paint that I had done the other one in, so that they would match. And it only took one coat of that white paint to get that completely finished. Now, once that is completely dry, I took out this transfer that I had picked up on Etsy, and I had used it for a couple of other projects, and I will try to remember to link it. It is, I think, $7 maybe for 2 sheets. And I cut a branch off to transfer onto this birdhouse, the front of it, because I had an idea in mind to use a couple of little tiny clay birds that I had made a week or so ago when I had my mold out and a little bit of clay left over, and so I thought they would be cute on this. And so you've seen this transfers before. You just take the stick and you rub until the transferred piece sticks to your project, peel it off, and then rub it down. And that goes on pretty easily. And then once I'm done with that, burnish that down, then I go ahead and I take these tiny little clay birds. Now, this mold that I had bought on Amazon, I thought was much bigger when I purchased it. So if you end up buying these little silicone molds, be careful of the size. I just went ahead and glued those 3 onto the branch, and then took out some paint. I had seen my bluebird in my yard, and I decided to paint this with that little inspiration in mind. So just taking a little watered down blue paint and a little bit of a yellowy mustard color, I just lightly brushed the body of the bird in blue and the belly in the yellowish color to resemble bluebirds. And then once this is completely dry, I will spray it several times, because I do think that it will end up outside in my garden. And I think that it came out really sweet. I like the combination of the transfer and the clay, giving it just a little bit of something different. And here it is with the other one that I made, and a number of other items. You'll have to let me know what you think of this one. Today's challenge is part of the third Thursday thrift flip with these lovely ladies. I will have their details in the description box. And the second item was found at the Goodwill for about 30 cents a piece, these little Christmas blocks that they had originally sold for several dollars, I can't imagine. And when I saw them, I knew that they would be really cute, easy to make over, and very inexpensive. And I had some creamish off-white paint from a project that I had done recently, which is actually a combination of latex and chalk paint together, and so it does have a little bit of a shine on it, but that's fine. I didn't have any problem with that. And I went ahead and just gave this 2 full coats in order to cover the red on the Christmas. I never decorate Santa Claus things, so if I find something that has a Santa Claus on it, I typically would paint over it, and I thought these lent themselves to that, especially since they were so cheap. And so taking another piece of the transfer that I had left, I went ahead and put that on the bottom for this one here with just a piece of that greenery and stick, and you know, same thing, you got to rub that on, and you got to keep cutting the pieces and layering it the way that you want it. So layering it works well. You just have to rub a little bit extra hard on the part that is on top of the transfer that you already have done. Then I added the bird, and I think it is just sweet and simple, but I wanted personally to add some antiquing wax to give that just a little bit more distressed look. Goes better with my home. I like the combination. I also thought it would pick up some of the brown in the wood rather than sand it down to the red. So here it is with that. Not bad for 30 cents, but probably another maybe $1 for the transfer at the most. So I think it came out cute, and it really looks good with the rest of the items that I have here on my mantle for spring. And I had purchased 2 of those Christmas blocks, so I decided to do the other one while I had it out. I'm using a combination of some florals and a bird from the second page of that same transfer, and then I am also going to use a little piece of one of the transfers that I picked up at the dollar store, and so it's well worth looking in the section at the dollar store to see if you can find any. They're much smaller, but for $1.25 they're certainly worth it. And if you have small items like this, I think that they would make many projects probably for about 15-20 cents a piece, something like that. So I just wanted a little bit of the wording, and I thought that it added a nice little touch to what I already had on this one. Now I did add a little bit more antiquing wax on this one, and this one looks adorable. In my kitchen, where I still have a number of the more blush pink items set up, especially my pine cone heart wreath that I made last Valentine's, I love it with that. Now I also had a couple of scrap pieces left over from a project. This is just some trim. Cut that down, painted that white, and then just really using up a little couple pieces of that transfer. I just had a tiny piece of stick left over, and really don't like to waste this. And really all it takes on something really small like this is that little piece of stick and a couple of leaves, and then one of the birds that were left over from that. And as simple as those were, very inexpensive and very cute for a free piece of wood. It's a great shelf sitter or something on a tiered tray. You could certainly drill holes and add some wire or some ribbon or some twine or something to hang it from. It would make a great gift package. Just any number of things that you could do with something simple like this. And that's all there was to this one. I think that it came out really cute with all the other blue items that I have in my bedroom. So that is it for today. Thank you for stopping by, and please make sure that you check out the playlist for all of the other creators that joined today's challenge, and I hope to see you soon. Make sure you hit subscribe so you can catch all the other upcoming videos, and if you're interested, take a look at some of the 250 videos I've done in the past, and I will try to remember to link a few in the description box. Take care.